ולמה אני בכלל צריך להיות אובייקטיבי? הם היו אובייקטיביים? כלפינו לא, הם גם לא היו אובייקטיביים. מה זאת אומרת הסיפור הזה? אבל
בתור עיתונאי זה...
אין דבר כזה בתור עיתונאי. בוודאי שלא, לא במקרה כזה. בוודאי שלא במקרה הזה. מה קורה?
מה המספר?
172,345.
זה מספר שאתה לא תשכח.
אני הולך איתו כבר 65 שנים. אבא היה באושוויץ 1, אני הייתי באושוויץ 3, ואמא הייתה באושוויץ 2 בבירקנאו.
Noach is over 80 years old and is making sure that the future generation of reporters will be just as committed as he is.
ירידה זה פחות כותרת מעלייה?
פחות.
אז עלייה זה טוב.
עלייה זה לא טוב, עלייה זה רע.
עלייה זה טוב לעיתון.
והנתון הזה מי סיפק אותו?
זה הגיע מסקר של הליגה נגד השמצה בארצות הברית. בהחלט שווה לתת לזה מקום די נרחב בעיתון.
The headline in the Israeli paper was quite worrying. I wanted to see how the Anti-Defamation League actually fights anti-Semitism.
Where the hell is he? Where is everybody? Where's the secretary?
They're coming in now.
Thank you. They're going to come in. Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
Have a seat and say hello. Introduce yourself.
Joel Levy.
Hello, Yoav.
Yoav, very nice to meet you. Let me give you a card.
Thank you.
Okay.
No?
You don't have to button your...
Why not?
The working session.
Okay, so it's working.
So the reason I'm asked to sit with both of you is what looks like a spike in anti-Semitic and racist activities or manifestations. Now, New York seems to be at the center, or at least getting the attention. Where do you see it? How do you see it?
Well, I've had a lot of meetings with the police department and last week with the mayor to talk about this. There is a wave. There's no question about it.
I don't know if it's attached to the time of the year, maybe attached to the presidential election. I'm not quite sure why we're saying it here.
You have enough resources to deal with all this stuff?
No. We're flooded every day with these things all over the country. It's a very big problem.
According to the ADL reports from the last couple of years, the average number of anti-Semitic incidents in the US is around 1,500 a year. I'm hoping Joel Levy can help me find a case I'll be able to follow.
What I'm actually doing is to follow a case.
I understand, yeah.
Because, every film needs like a drive. And once we have like a case that we can follow, so that would be great.
We're going over the fresh data collected over the last couple of weeks to see if there's anything I will be able to film.
We have received in the last week or so someone who employment case, someone who wasn't able to take days off for the holiday, someone who is a school teacher and wanted days off for Shavuot, someone who is a nursing student and had some issues with taking time off as well as with taking time off. We also got a phone call from someone who was complaining about a website that had anti-Semitic remarks on it. Someone who was complaining about an article in the newspaper who they thought had anti-Semitic undertones. And that seems to be the roundup.
And that's what we've had in the last 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Those are the kinds of incidents that we've had recently. 5 in 2 weeks. So there's no way to predict.
There wasn't anything suitable from the last 2 weeks. So Joel Levy tries to help me to find a case.
What they're looking for is an incident that they might be able, and they will do all the contact work, but an incident they might be able to follow, to actually see something that has happened, to go to the site, to talk to people there, to show what has happened, the impact on them, how we interact with all of that, and so on.
Assemblyman Hickind has a lot of Jewish voters in Brooklyn, and he suggested a case for me.
I had a very interesting case just last week. A woman went to a funeral in not too far from here, thousands of people, and she heard a police officer on the phone say something to someone else, something very derogatory about the Jew something to somebody. This woman was at the funeral, she heard this. She was so upset, she wrote me a letter, I could show you the letter, and she called me. Yeah. Okay. Is this the only letter? Yeah. Okay. You want me to read part of it to you? Actually, you could look at it. I overheard a very disturbing conversation that a policeman had on his cell phone. I heard him say very loudly, I wasn't even standing close to him, quote, "I'm just finishing this Jewish shit." Sorry for using this kind of language, but this is the exact quote. I was so offended by the vulgar language, which is never appropriate, etc. And she goes on. I made it that the police officer called the woman. He apologized on the telephone.
Hicken thought it was a good case, but the police wouldn't let the officer go on camera, and the Jewish woman seemed to be satisfied that the policeman had apologized. I realized that it might take some time to find a suitable case to film, and the kids had just finished their preparations, so I had to join them and fly to Poland. The man with the blanked out eyes is an Israeli Secret Service agent, whose identity we are not allowed to reveal.
במידה ועכשיו קורה איזה מצב ששומעים איזשהו פיצוץ, לא משנה כרגע מה שאני מבקש דבר ראשון, כולם לשבת או לשכב אפילו במעברים כמה שיותר מהר, בסדר?
Traveling around Poland today, it's hard to imagine what it must have looked like over 60 years ago. But the guides help the kids to visualize and feel how it was under the Nazi regime.
יסמין, את תהיי מבחינתנו המודל של אמא של דנקה, את תיכנסי מתחת למדרגות שם ליד העצים ואנחנו נצלם אותך.
הייתה ילדה בשם דנקה שהייתה גרה כאן, אוקיי? והגרמנים היו זורקים פה את היהודים מהחלון. היו זורקים אותם, ואתה יודע, היו מתחבאים. אז אפילו שהבנתי, אמא שלה נכנסה, והיא ניצלה.
מה היו עושים הגרמנים?
היו זורקים אותם מהחלון פה, אתה רואה? תסתכל. היו זורקים אותם, ואת החזקים שלהם, והיו מחפשים אותם, כי היהודים היו מתחבאים מתחת לרצפות ובארונות. אני כאילו דנקה עכשיו.
בגטו לובלין. גטו יהודי בעיר לובלин.
Израиль? No to mógł Izrael, ale nie tam gadasz po jak po chińsku. Ja myślałem, że z Chin jesteście.
Kto gada? Izraelczanie?
Pytam się skąd, a dopiero jak powiedziałem z Izraela, no to powiedziałem, że tak.
English? הוא מדבר רעות על ישראל, הוא אמר שאנחנו כלבים. הבנתי. בואי כבר, מה את מדברת עם אחד כזה? רוני. מה איתך לדבר?
רוני.
שומר עלינו מהאנטישמיות, כאילו שומר, שלא יבואו מתנגשים או כאילו יעשו לנו משהו בלי ש...
את חושבת שזה יכול לקרות?
כן, זה יכול. הרגע, היום בבוקר היינו 3 אנשים מבוגרים יחסית, שרק שמעו שאנחנו מישראל ודפקו לי פרצופים ואמרו שאנחנו קופים וחמורים ועוד שנייה כאילו היה מכות שם.
הם לא אמרו שום דבר כזה.
לא?
לא?
הם כן.
לא?
כל
to your rooms right now. Right now, go to your rooms. Right now.
Go to your room.
What happened here? What are you doing?
מעניין.
Excuse me. We're not vlog. We have some other guests here. I know that the kids, but you have to understand us. We have some other guests here. They're coming down and then they are staying there. We won't pay for it.
Although the days in the Poland trip are long and exhausting, the kids still have a lot of energy when they get back to the hotel.
Quiet, okay? But close the window and stay in your room, okay?